Is she okay? So have your blocks. Do you guys want more blocks? Mentions? And we'll start. Oh, I need my phone for the time. So the only time that you'll see me use my phone in class, unless I have like, again, like how you guys have done, if you have something to do, you're like, yo, I'm on call for this, whatever, but I do use my timer. If you have one on your watch, like sometimes those little steps counters or watches have them also, you can do it that way. So let's come into the nest. This is usually the first yin form that I start with, usually always. Your legs can be close or they can also be far apart. And then I have the blocks, they can be really anywhere if to make yourself as comfortable as possible and no stress of holding yourself up. Oh God, those are my shutters. I have to go close the flat stairs. I like to sit on a block for this one. It's just my personal preference. And just like when we were doing the caterpillar, the seated caterpillar, the seated forward fold, you can also have blocks in the front if you don't want to go too far forward. So this one, again, you can have your feet far away or more close. This is intended of opening the back and opening the groin. And then just slowly letting yourself melt forward. So again, remember, we've entered our anesthetic time in the yin time. And breathing into the back ribs, using the breath to stretch us from the inside out. I'll bring back our soft piano. Allow your body to yield the time and gravity. Closer to the floor. Slowly, slowly. The upper body pours forward. So feeling those lines of tension maybe through your back, the inner thighs and the groin. Breathe into the line of tension wherever you feel it, the lines of tension. And working through your tissues with time and patience. And quite slowly begin to press your hands into the floor. Begin to take the stress off of where you're feeling it. Slowly unfurling the body. Lengthening once again to your original shape. Let the breath help you. Slowly coming up. And sitting for a minute tall. Next, we're going to extend one leg. If you're sitting on a block, you can move it. If you're not, temporary. And then we'll just take one leg out and like that. So this is the half dragonfly, each half. And we'll take it over to the side. You have a couple of options. You can turn towards your leg. And just like our other forward folds, you can bring a block if going too far. If you've chosen the side bend, I like to put the block under my armpit. And then I'll take my neck up and over to the side. So just find a nice line of tension. If you've chosen the side bend, I'll also take my opposite arm and I put it behind my back, and that just allows me to open through the neck on that side a little more. We'll find the best shape for you. And breathe there. As with all bends to the side, feel that one side of the lungs is a little more compressed than the other. So really use that more open side to breathe and stretch. Slowly opening. If you have a block under your arm or between you and your leg, see if there's more space. You can melt it a little further. Adding any little micro movements or gentle sway, slow-mo sways. Easy rocking. Letting the breath flow smoothly around the form of the body, inflating the form of the body. Very slowly, we're gonna allow our body to come towards our center line. You could walk yourself there with your hands. Go very slow, stay in this melty vibe. Once you've come to center and the tension is off of that side of the body, use the hands to walk yourself back up to an upright seated position. Take a moment here and feel, observe. And then I'm going to switch legs. So I like to bring one leg in, extend the other leg. So just taking notes if you need any accommodation for this side that is different than your other side. Maybe you need a block under the knee. Again, remember, I'm starting center. I can tip myself over to the side and get a side bend, or I can rotate myself towards the leg, stretch more through the low back. It's your choice. You have a block. If you're not ready to go all the way down yet, cushion. And then just slowly start your descent down and begin to melt your way down. So most of our forms tonight will be holding for about 3 minutes. Giving that target segment the opportunity to have fluids move between the tissues and stimulate it gently with the breathing. Allowing ease and passage through the body. So allowing air, blood, lymph, all the fluids that make all of the miracles happen in our body. They have to move through the body. So allowing the body time, space, and processing power. Inhale and exhale and see if your body yields a little more of that tension, yields a little more to gravity. Just over 1 minute left. See if there's any adjustments that you can make that feel delicious for your stretch, for your form rather. A very minor rotation, a tiny shift or easy waves, small micro movements. If your body's called to do anything, but keep it heavy, nothing too sudden. Now very slowly allow your upper body to come towards center. Take your time, taking the tension off of the stretch. Melt towards center and then using your hands to help you up. Coming up and just feeling that rebound sensation and the body readjust or recalibrate. So next we'll go for full dragonfly. That's a straddle split with the legs wide. Remember this one you might want to move some of your meat, have some blocks in the front or one of those cushions. We have tension occurring in the inner thigh and also possibly your back, backs of the legs. So allow yourself to come forward, lengthening through the torso and allowing yourself to melt forward. Finding that line of tension, finding that line of stress. Really trying to target that inner thighs. Breathe into the back. Your rotation. And I really finished. That outward rotation of the femurs and the sockets as we stretch through the groin. The tissues of the glutes and the hips around the femurs being stretched. A little bit of a pull on the hamstring or the lower under leg, the back of the thigh. Your body move a little bit closer to the floor. It intensifies the stretch in the back of the thighs. 2 more minutes. We're in our last 30 seconds for this form. So when it's time to come out from this one, I'm going to set the other timer. We have to take at least 30 seconds to come in. So let's slowly begin our journey upward. Take your sweet, sweet time. Think about rolling up from your back or coming up with a flat back. And then just pressing back onto your sits bones, back onto your buttocks, flesh. Taking that tension out. All the way back up to the seated position. That was about 50 for 50 seconds. Yeah, sometimes a minute can pass very quickly, or sometimes it can take forever. So from this position, gather your legs, use your hands to help them, and we'll bring them into the position where we can make windshield wipers. Side and side of the windshield wipers. Then we're gonna take ourselves to wrong side of our mat. We're gonna go into your favorite glute stretch. So this can be figure four, it can be square or shoelace like we learned earlier, or they can be good old fashioned pigeon, or as in we call it the sleeping spot. So if I was wide on my mat, and maybe you guys are pointing this way because you're pointing at me, but maybe if you're at home, you would be wide on your mat after you use the windshield wiper. I would just. Like the sound effect, of course. I would find my way over to the side into a. We'll find the ideal line of tension for your stretch. You can have blocks in the front for resting. You can have blocks at the back for resting. Or you can just be resting on the floor. In this position, if it's there for you, and if it feels right, I like to walk my upper body a little bit away from the leg that's bent. It provides more of a stretch targeting that piriformis area, that area that we felt earlier in the shoelace or square. You can add gentle rocking to your motion, but everything is just slow-mo, micro, very slow. And also, you don't have to add any rocking, you can just stay allow gravity to touch the work. Letting that line of tension, applying stress, and time, patience. Breathing. To come off of this day, I'm going to press my elbows to the floor and my back leg that's extended. I'm also going to lift it up. So I'm going to like show up, easy plank myself, but gently up, just enough to slide my other leg back. And then just let myself down. Lay down, and you can bring your hands forward, bending your knees, and fully chill the legs. Fine. In this position. And just slid that leg back. Slow, easy motion. All right, relax the legs down. And very slowly use the arms, push yourself up. Come into a lazy table pose. Just enough to bring your leg front. If you're taking pigeon on the side, decide if you want to take figure four or any of the other glute stretches that are available to you. And bring yourself into that form, find that line of tension, walk the upper body away slightly. If it's there for you, and find the sleeping swan for this other side. Feeling the sensation in the body. Are we feeling tension or are we feeling pressure? The rotation in our hip joint depends a lot on compression. If it's bone on bone, there's nowhere else to go. So be sure that you can identify the sensation. Tension versus compression. Tension, we can still work in that area, still open it. There's stretch available. Compression, there's no stretch available. It's bone on bone. Nothing else is moving. Now slowly let's press our elbows again into the floor in that back foot, just to lift myself off of the tension slowly, and then slide that leg back. Maybe to belly down. Get better than you can take a few easy windshield wipers. If it's more comfortable to have the knees wider apart, you could try that also. And then from here, let's bring the elbows under the shoulders. And we'll bring ourselves up into the yin cobra. So from the belly down position, I'll go just like into my normal cobra, and then I go a little bit wider, actually also. And then I let, instead of strong and extend it, I let myself melt down. If you want more melt than this, like dropping the head, you can. You can bring the hands out wider, come up. They call this the snail pose. So I'm having like the pressure of the floor keeping. I'll come up like that, and then I will let myself sink down. So this causes the shape and this tension and pressure causes the dredging of the tissues to happen. So as we have pressure and tension on the tissues of the trapezius and the muscles below wrapping into the neck, that putting this tension on the muscles when we open will allow a fresh burst of lymph and blood into this area. Slowly breathe. I think it's a very anesthetic option. And allow the head to just drop all the way forward. My forward head is stretching along the back of the neck and down the top of my spine also. 50 more seconds, just less than a minute at this point. And remember, when working in the tissues of the upper body, that we will hold the form a lot less time than with the informs of the lower body, because the tissues are simply more fine. Inhale and exhale and begin to lower your body down, such as let yourself continue to melt to the floor. You can slide your hands out a little further. Bring the hands under the head or go to the side. And just take a moment here. So from this position, we're going to do the modified half sat by just simply bending one foot and reaching back. And bringing that foot to get a stretch. It might not be your max stretch for the quad, but let's bring it into a bit of a stretch and hold. You turn your head to either side, whatever feels okay. If you want a more stretch for this quad, you can put a block on your knee and just lift the leg up a little higher. And also engage my glute a little bit to turn the tail under, while stretching more in the front of the leg. Inhale, exhale, slowly release that leg, let it take its time. Go back, go forward. And then the other side, we have a leg or a block under the leg. Put it in position. And then bending your, bending your knee upward. And take your other side. So squeezing the same glute of the leg that's back can open up that hip flexor, open up that quad. One breath to the side. And very slowly begin to release that foot, let it go down. And from here, let's bring the hands under the shoulders. And we'll push up slowly and back slowly into a child's pose. So let's widen the knees. Make a wide like child's pose and rest. Like you can walk your fingers forward a little bit to amplify that stretch again. Very slowly, let's begin to press into our knees, the shins, and lift the hips off the floor to roll ourselves up a little bit. I'm rolling up forward onto my elbow. And then from here, I'm going to transition myself down onto my back. Soft down onto your back slowly. So we'll come into our Shavasana, or our final resting position. If you have another layer that you'd like to put on, it was a great time. If you'd like to put a block under your back, you have a couple options. Under the broad line or under the low back with the knees bent. Your choice. Allowing this simple and short yin practice to integrate into the body. And letting the body settle. And the end of the week and the start of the weekend. All these concepts of time that the body doesn't know exist. But it's always present with this. So allow your body just a few minutes to integrate. Enjoy doing nothing. Nothing hours to be. And nothing demanded of you in these moments. And slowly on your next inhale. Inflate the body, will stretch. And again, lengthen the inhale. And bring some movement into your fingers, your hands, your toes, and your feet. And a little bit up into the legs. You can rock your legs or shake your legs, have your body a little shake. And then taking your time to roll over to one side. Then using your hands to help you up into a comfortable seated position. Time. And staying in the body. Scanning it with your awareness. Notice the breath. You can feel your heartbeat. The movement of the ribs around the lungs. Breathe. We'll bring our hands out to either side. Walk the fingers out and away from the body. Open through the chest. Spaciousness through the chest. Breathe. We'll lengthen up. Breathe. Inhale, stretch, exhale, relax. Again, inhale, stretch the chest forward. Exhale, relax, taking the tension off. One more inhale, stretch the chest. Exhale, relax. And then we'll inhale our arms up. And hands meet at the top. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close our practice here. Just take a moment here. Savor. Give yourself a little shake. It's about time. So yeah, take your time. Leave anything here for tomorrow. And we're finished for tonight. Thank you for coming. And we'll stay on top of the windstorm situation. I don't think it will be that